Well, since Gino had a bachelor party already.
He had one?
He didn't tell you?
Ocultarle a mi papá es por una buena razón.
Porque mi vida es privadas.
No, you lied to me! I can't trust you!
Hi everyone, I am sick today, so I'm going to be putting all of my effort into this with no voice. I hope you guys understand and still enjoy this video. I know last time I told you I'll cover everyone in 2 videos, but honestly, life got in the way, and with the holidays incoming, time is very limited. So what better way than to start by speedrunning Nick and Devin. They go try out some traditional Korean clothes, they take some pictures, and then he pops the question, "Will you marry me?" She goes, "Oh my god, yes!" And then they take another picture. The end. These two are so cute and adorable. I love them as a couple. Now we move on to Jasmine. She is done showing us her amazing telenovela skills from last episode. Gino is now trying to convince her that she's exaggerating and he would never ever cheat on her. And she wants Gino to fly her back to Panama right now. Jasmine shares with all of us that her abandonment issues stem from her dad.
I have abandonment issues, and everything comes from my dad. He abandoned me when I was 3 years old, and he made sure to let my mom know that he had not interested on being part of my life.
Give it up for daddy issues. Finally, Jasmine gets in the car, and after a little convincing, they go home. Now off to Jasmine cleaning since it's therapeutic for her, while Gino runs some errands. But Gino would never imagine that a napkin would destroy his nice gesture of bringing gifts. You guys are sitting there like, what napkin, Karen? Whose napkin?
This shouldn't be around the house. This is from his ex-wife, Gino's 40th birthday, 40.
While Jasmine was cleaning, she found many things that belonged to Gino's exes, like a Kama Sutra book, a card, photos, and a notebook with this on it.
And the only word is in here is perras, bitches. Like, what the heck?
The way that Jasmine said it was so funny. I started laughing. She's being so sarcastic. It's ridiculous.
And this is so romantic. Look at this. Oh, to the man of my dreams.
And she took it further than this by stalking the ex and comparing Coco with the ex's dog. But then Gino comes into the door bearing gifts for everyone, and Jasmine looks at him like, I caught your ass, bitch. I caught you.
4K. Got you. I got you in 4K, daddy.
Look what I got for Coco, Jasmine. Sit here, Gino. And then she asked him where all these things are from. But he placed the I don't know.
What is this?
That's exactly my question.
Oh, this is just old stuff.
Eventually, he's like, oh, yeah, you're right. They are mine. But everyone keeps things from their exes. Everyone keeps things from everyone. So it's not a big deal. But to Jasmine, this is a big deal.
You think I'm playing?
You were trying to learn Portuguese.
Yeah, but that was for my job when I went to Brazil for the first time. That wasn't any girl involved.
When she brings up the fact that Gino is learning Portuguese or was learning Portuguese and he only wrote one word on this notebook, she gets very upset. Because him not learning Spanish but willing to learn Portuguese for 6 months just for work is actually kind of upsetting, because she's been trying to make him learn Spanish for her kids. Then she brings up the napkin and makes him admit that it is not important to him and then rips it right in front of his face.
That I probably
This
have.
is still important to you.
No.
Later on the day, Jasmine has decided that she's going to pamper herself and fuck Gino's money because there's no limit today. She's with Michelle because that's the only person that she trusts and tells her, girl, I'm so tired, the house is so dirty, and I found things. How you feel about this? People hold things, everyone does it. It's not a big deal. I know my man does it. Are you okay with it? Yeah. It's like something clicked on Jasmine and she acknowledges that she has a huge jealousy problem and needs to be more understanding with Gino. But that did not last.
He had one?
He didn't tell you?
No, he told me that he was like not having a bachelor's party until I came and I was gonna organize it.
Because the producers made sure to ask Michelle to bring up the fact that Gino went to a strip club right before she got there and that he was touched by the strippers.
It was a bachelor party. I'm sure he got touched.
He got touched.
I'm sure.
That's all it took for Jasmine to be like, fuck you, Gino, you lied to me. And I actually feel like Jasmine has been trying to bring all these things up so she can have a bunch of leverage against Gino when she has to tell him about the money that Dane spent on her butt implants. For the preview, we do see the argument take place and the gold production was holding, which is Gino at the strip club touching some ass.
We'll return after these messages.
Now, if you want to help me pass the line of one day hitting 500 subs, you too can join the Chisme Corner now. Do that thing where you press the subscriber button. Please, I'm sick. Oh, and leave a like. Also, I really appreciate nice comments.
Now, back to our program.
Okay, next couple. Quick short story here. Once upon a time, Sophie left her castle after Prince Rob talked to another girl, but once she escaped, Prince Rob, ruler of the fuckboys, began a quest to find her.
It could have been a lot worse, but it wasn't, and it would never ever be that wrong again.
With the magical and powerful words, I miss you, further enhanced from a single red rose. She felt like she had no option and went back to her chamber. The end.
It's not easy. If you were in my life all the time, then it would have been easier.
Then it would have been easy to be loyal. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, Sophie will have to check his phone to make sure he's not cheating like the child model he is. And the excuses that this man made, he says things like, it could have been worse. I was trying my best, but I should have known. But he's not perfect. He's not perfect, guys. Did we forget about that?
I'm not perfect.
Now off to Ashley and Manuel. They're still in therapy and Ashley is focused on how she hasn't even met his children.
I feel on the outside of his family. It's like,
which we find out that he has 2 kids. Miguel is concerned that she would explode on the kids.
Mis hijos todavía tienen 12 y 14 años y todavía tengo que proteger por su bienestar. Pero
and he also does not like the idea of sharing his private life. Another issue is money being sent to Manuel's family because they never talked about this. And the therapist acknowledges that their communication needs a lot of work or it will forever be an issue. Now off to the restaurant, Ashley asks Manuel how he feels about therapy. And he does not want to go back.
tú y tu terapista.
Not only does he not feel it's necessary because in his culture he thinks you can fix your own mental issues in your head. You don't need a therapist. He opens up a bit by expressing how he feels, that actually cares about what others say more than what he says. It is hard not to give him a small points, and she does open up to anyone, even a rock, but this dude has so many red flags incoming from all sizes. I do think therapy is helpful for both of them, and having a third person that has no bias will improve their communication skills. But Manuel tends to talk to Ashley like she's a child at times, and is very, very upsetting.
Yo quiero
¿Tú me tienes confianza en mí?
Eso es la problema.
Ah, el problema. Es el problema.
Eso es la problema.
¿Y tú quieres
Like making fun of her Spanish and just being petty about it. His body language really just comes off as he doesn't care. And even when Ashley asks him to please go back to therapy, he refuses and tells her that she can go by herself. Ashley feels like he forces things his way, but it's also something that she does. And at the end, it's clear that he is very willing to let her go with no issues whatsoever, but Ashley keeps holding on to that hope of having a relationship with him.
Tú prefieres pagar una veterinaria $130 que enviar $100 para mi casa, para mi familia. Estás loca.
For the preview, we do see them argue about sending money to Ecuador, and that's it. Now, moving on to Analí and Clayton. Good morning, all of you. As we already knew, there was zero sexy time last night. But we do learn from Clayton that usually him and Analí have a pretty happy and active sexual life, and he's actually concerned about last night.
Generally speaking, me and Analí have a pretty healthy sex life. Every time we've been together in Peru, it's been pretty frequent.
Yeah, a lot of sex.
Analí tells us, but not him, that the lack of privacy is definitely the main issue as to why they didn't have sex.
Y no quiero que escuche su mamá todo. Creo que es tan raro.
So now it's time for some horseback riding, and once they are done, Clayton asks about the secrecy of their relationship. And he tells her, maybe you can start posting more of you and I, and tell your family. But this is what she says.
Cuando iniciamos una relación con Clayton, es que fue muy pronto todo. Es que, ¿cómo le podía decir a mi papá que estoy comprometida cuando eran 4 días de conocerlo?
Let me show you how. Hey, Dad, I'm actually in a relationship and I'm about to get married. That's why I'm in the US.
You're dead. You're gone. I don't even know who you are. You're vapor.
I know it sounds simple, but honestly, if she would have told him a long time ago, that things would have been easier now. But the main problem is that she's been lying so much and for such a long time that she doesn't even know what to say anymore. She tells him that if she starts posting him, they'll know she came to the US and lied.
Tú eres muy gringo, te ves diferente a un peruano, entonces, se fue por él.
And I'm over here asking myself, aren't they going to watch the show, or someone is going to tell them that they saw her, and then what are you going to do about it? So when are you going to tell them, Analí?
Es como que te hubiera conocido aquí, no antes. Un poco de lógica, pues.
Like she met Clayton here, and that's when she chose to marry him. Big red flag. Quickly after this, she stops the conversation and tells him to stop pressuring her. From here, we are off to meet Clayton's sister. He describes her as nice, but has a short fuse. And I personally hate when people get described like this because I already feel pressure, and this only intensifies it.
Take Analí bourbon tasting because bourbon in Kentucky is just as big as horses. Those are the two things that come to mind when I think about Kentucky. So this is the other half. And plus, my sister likes to drink.
This conversation goes from 0 to 100 real quick because exchanges are made as Brandy questions a lot of Analí's motives and actions, and mainly from the lack of display of Clayton on her social media and the fact that she still hasn't told her father.
So her dad doesn't know that you guys are together?
No.
One of the things that alarms me the most is the fact that Brandy seems to be very, very, very overprotective over Clayton and is a little, I don't know, it's just kind of creepy at some point. And it's just weird too, the fact that like she's so invested and so jealous of the relationship.
How do I know that she's just not here for a green card?
That meant that a lot of Analí's answers only further anger Brandy, and she got to the point that she just wanted to know, you know, is it the only reason that you're here for the green card? But Clayton seems upset at this question, Analí seems upset at this question, and I would be too. I think the fact that Clayton then asked her, have you had enough to drink?
Well, this was fun.
You have enough to drink?
No.
Pissed her off so much that this is when she actually chose to just leave, stormed off. You know, she was even crying from this.
Get married.
About to cry.
I don't really like Brandy, and I also do feel like Analí is hiding a lot of things from everyone, including Clayton, and I just hope that she just, you know, talks to her father, because it's been a while now and they need to know. In the preview, we get a glimpse of what looks like Clayton and Analí in a hotel room, where Clayton makes it pretty clear he wants to touch some butt, but at least from what we are shown, it does seem like Analí is distant or hesitant, but we've been told before by production, so we'll see what happens in the next episode. Shifting over to the last couple with their own share of sexual tension. At first, we see these two looking for clothes that's more conservative, at least for Igor, because they're preparing to meet Igor's parents. Nothing really clicks for either of them until they're in the suit section.
This looks nice, right, sweetie?
Oh, no, not for me.
And Nikki tries on this pink suit and starts showing off her butt, her boobies, everywhere, like just everything. But eventually they walk out. They don't really like it. And this was just a wasted trip, because eventually she will go home and get her own stuff over there. Back at their place, Igor sees the dress that Nikki has to show, and we get a good old Igor seal of approval. Now on the road to meet the parents, I couldn't tell you if it was tension or something else, but the car chat ends up heating up into an argument.
Another one.
But this comment about her makeup seems to set her off.
Today you look more like regular woman in our city, and you not put a lot of makeup. This is a good step for our relationship.
Nikki begins to show how she's still not comfortable in her own skin, making comments about how she doesn't feel like woman enough for him.
This isn't real enough for you, Billy.
Again, focus returns to their sex life and how Igor feels. All he hears is sex this, sex that, sex, 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 sex.
Said she wants sex. It's always what I'm hearing every day.
Nikki feels gaslighted, invalidated, and hurt. There's so much back and forth, and nobody's truly getting any answers.
I have many things about what I'm thinking. I'm changing my whole life.
Yes.
My friends.
Good.
My country.
Me too. All of it.
This is big shock. Baby, I help you much.
Igor brings up the fact that he's giving up a lot of things and accepting Nikki, and how she's over here being a problem. And not only that, but being incredibly pushy when it comes to sex, to the point that it makes a lot of people incredibly uncomfortable.
Where's the button inject? Now leaving.
He even tries to eject himself out of the car.
Honestly, if I could go like this and be back at home, I would do it. Like, that's how I feel.
Nikki vents out how she feels about the situation, and then we shift over to previews for what's to come.
Do we have your blessing to get married?
Скажи, мама ничего не забывает.
I'm tired of being disappointed. I'm tired of being rejected.
Again, It is hard to tell if production is doing their thing, but it seems like the meeting starts good and ends bad. But we will see what happens. I don't think that Igor's mom was mad at Nikki or didn't accept Nikki, but we will get to see what happens because we never know. And that was it for today. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I really appreciate all your comments, likes, and all the new people that have been here. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great Thanksgiving and eat a lot of turkey.